I was just
Yeah,
gonna
but
chip in
I
one
guess what I
more
was saying.
thing.
Oh,
I
sorry.
I
Go
was
ahead.
just gonna chip in one more thing, with regard to like these crazy standards that people have, like the six figures thing, the 6 foot, uh, and over thing. In fact, I might as well just say the whole of the rule of six, as a red pill
Hmm.
sphere likes to put it, is women's standards. They are drawn to the number six. So like six figures, 6 inches, 6 foot. What is it? 6 out of 10 facial attractiveness and above. All of those things. Um, and I think what makes this, increasingly happen is because on online dating, I think OkCupid was the first platform to introduce this. You get all of these filters, which in essence allow you to select for exactly the right person that you want to look for. So, you can filter for only guys who are 6 foot and above, only guys who make 100K per year or more, only guys who are like between the age of 20 and 25. And now, this basically allows people to manufacture their partner, provided that there's someone out there that ticks all of those boxes.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that yeah, that kind of is a reference almost to kind of what I said before, in that like trying to match, they would call it like their 72 dimensions of compatibility, or whatever. Trying to match on all those things, I think, is really bad. I think it really fucks your head. And it's funny too, because like some of our preferences are even drawn by like just kind of like how the numbers look to us. So like I saw a really funny thing at some point that like I think it was showing like what women, given the opportunity to set their filter, like what preference they had for like a male's height. And it was funny that there was a huge spike right at 6 feet tall. But you know that if you lined a bunch of men up and you asked women like by height, like who's most attractive, they're probably only gravitating towards that 6 foot number because it's like nice and even. Like in reality, it'd probably be like 5'11" or like 6'1" or whatever. But it's funny that we'll gravitate towards like those like the very even numbers, and then we feel like that's what our brains are kind of like focused on, and we don't realize that we're kind of like doing like number games there. Same thing with like six figures too. Like I want a guy that makes 100K a year, when like that number means totally different things based on where you live, based on the type of lifestyle you want. But it's just we're drawn towards those like really round, nice numbers, you know?
Well, it's interesting because in Europe they use the metric system,
Hmm.
not feet and inches,
Yeah.
and in countries like Germany, France, the height number is 180 centimeters,
Hmm.
because that's the round number, and
Yeah.
that's equates to
Slightly.
5'11".
Yeah.
Yeah, to 5'11". So,
Hmm.
in places like Germany, the ideal is to be 5'11", because that equates to 180 centimeters.
Hmm. But then another thing I found out too is that I don't think anybody knows how tall anybody is, because I realized when I got online, dude, men lie about their height a ton. I am the tallest 5'8" man I've ever met in my entire life. I tower over guys that are 5'9" supposedly, and I'm like the same height as so many 5'10" dudes. I didn't realize like how many guys lie about their height. And then I've heard girls say like really dumb shit as well, like, oh, like my ex was like the best sex ever, like he was so hot, like he had like a 10-inch dick, and I was like, no, he did. What the fuck are you talking about? Like people just say like they just have like the wildest fucking things in their head because they don't even know. Yeah.
I do agree with that. I don't think women really can tell how tall a man is. I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
Yeah.
I think
Un-
we've recommended that men go ahead and, up yourself a couple of inches in height, because
Yeah.
then you can
Well,
at least, make it through the door.
yeah, you can get in the door and then the woman won't even think about it after
Yeah,
that.
I wouldn't.
Unless
I,
Especially,
you just have to be careful though when you start getting to taller women. The only like big disqualifier I'll
well,
say is women don't want to
yeah.
feel like they're taller than a guy if they're wearing like heels, like stuff like that. So if you're gonna be with a woman that's like 5'7" or 5'8", if you tell her that you're like 6'1", and she puts on some 3-inch heels and she's towering over you, she's gonna know that there's some shenaniganery going on. So.
Well, we would say you have to wear lifts then, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, so yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Soft
wear
look
your
dancing.
boots.
But then when the lifts come off,
Oh,
well, you're in then bed by that's when then. you're kind You're of good. screwed.
Well,
You'll have to take your shoes off at the very last second. Once you get into your house, just keep them on until you're actually in the bed.
yeah. Bye. Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.